How to get a K-1 fiancé visa. Step-by-step guide. A K-1 visa, also called a fiancé visa, allows the engaged partner of a U.S. citizen to enter the United States as long as the couple gets married in 90 days or less. After that, the newly married spouse can apply for permanent residence, a green card, based on marriage. Step 1. Form I-129F. The first step for an eligible couple is for the U.S. citizen fiancé to file Form I-129F with USCIS. This form aims to prove the validity of the relationship. The following supporting documents should be attached to the completed form as evidence. Proof of citizenship for the U.S. citizen fiancé. This can be a copy of a passport, certificate of naturalization, or a birth certificate. Copy of the sponsored fiancé's passport. Proof of the legitimacy of the relationship. This could be photos, correspondence, sworn statements from friends and colleagues, etc. Proof of having met in person at least one time within the last 2 years prior to filing the form. This could be flight itineraries, hotel itineraries, photos, correspondence, etc. Sworn statements written by and signed by each partner with a brief description of the nature of the relationship and an intent to marry within 90 days of the sponsored fiancé's arrival in the United States. It's generally best to provide the original signed statements and keep copies for your records. A copy of any Form I-94 arrival departure record previously issued to the sponsored fiancé, one passport-style photo of the U.S. citizen fiancé, and one passport-style photo of the sponsored fiancé. The government's required fee for Form I-129F is $535 US. After the form and supporting documents are filed at the appropriate address, USCIS will typically send a receipt notice within 30 days. USCIS may also send a request for evidence, or RFE, if they need more information. Once Form I-129F is approved, USCIS will send an approval notice. Step 2. Form DS-160 and interview. At this point, USCIS hands off the case to the U.S. Department of State. Within about 30 days after the I-129F form is approved, the sponsored fiancé will receive a notice from the U.S. Embassy in their home country, including the date and location of their visa interview and a list of required documents. DS-160. Next, the sponsored fiancé should complete the State Department's online DS-160 form, technically called the Online Non-Immigrant Visa Application. This is the actual K-1 visa application, and it's very important to print the confirmation page once the form has been submitted online. The State Department then requires the following documents: sponsored fiancé documents, 2 passport-style photos, a birth certificate, a valid unexpired passport, police clearance obtained from all countries of residence of more than 6 months since the age of 16, sealed medical exam form, obtained through a physician abroad who is authorized by the State Department. U.S. citizen fiancé documents, the affidavit of support, Form I-134, most recent tax returns, proof of relationship, copy of the approved I-129F package originally filed with the USCIS. Interview. The visa interview takes place at the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate in the sponsored fiancé's home country, usually about 4 to 6 weeks after the embassy's initial notice. The visa fee of $265 is usually paid at the interview, but it's important to review specific instructions regarding time and place of payment included in the embassy's interview notice, which can vary by home country. The interviewing officer will typically make a decision on the case either the same day of the interview or shortly afterward. If they need additional evidence, they'll request it to be submitted directly to the U.S. consulate. Once requirements are met and the K-1 visa is approved, the sponsored fiancé is given a total of 6 months from the date of approval of the initial I-129F form to travel to the United States. Upon arrival, the couple must get married within 90 days, or the sponsored fiancé will lose their K-1 status. If the couple decides not to get married, the sponsored partner will not be eligible to remain in the United States and is required to leave the country right away. It takes 6 to 9 months, 7 months on average, for USCIS to process Form I-129F, and an additional 4 to 6 weeks for the agency to send an interview request at the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. To learn if you're eligible for a K-1 fiancé visa, watch this video linked on your screen. And if you'd like to learn more about K-1 fiancé visas, check out the resource articles listed in our description. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Boundless on YouTube. Thanks for watching.